Hey everyone, it's Varush. Welcome to my channel. I'm excited to be here with you guys today to talk about the full moon in Libra that's happening tonight on April 5th at 9:30 p.m. Pacific time. If you're watching this after the date, after April 5th, this still applies to you. You can just look back onto the energies that are beginning for you today, and that will apply to your life as well. My readings are for Sun, Moon, and Rising, Venus, Mars, wherever you have a lot of different transits or aspects or things going on in your chart, you should be watching for those signs. It takes a few times to watch several videos to find where your sweet spot is, or you can speak with an astrologer who can tell you where there are concentrations in your chart that are going to resonate for you. But it's a trial and error thing. You don't have to pay for a reading in order to get information on this. All you need to do is watch a few, and if something's resonating, then you should watch that. But you should start with your Sun, Moon, and Rising. I hope you guys are doing well. Today we're going to do astrology and then get into a sign-by-sign interpretation for your Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's a really beautiful place for the full moon, and I'm excited to tell you guys all about it. So why don't we just get right into it? So the full moon is happening at 9:30 p.m. Pacific at 16 degrees of Libra. This is an interesting area of the sky because a lot is changing here. There's several different energies. There's a lot of cusps here. Maybe not cusps of signs, but constellations and different sections that people divide the sky into. So therefore you have multiple messages coming in with this full moon, but they're all helpful and they're all beneficial, and I hope that they give you perspective on what to look forward to. We're going to go over some of these now and show you guys what to focus on. The sun is in Aries, in the middle of Aries, right with Chiron. I think that's the big story of this full moon. If you've been watching my videos, you know we did quite a big special on the Chiron conjunction with Jupiter and Venus, and I'll link that in the description if you want to know more. So this is just a continuation of that energy. Just as a summary for those of you who didn't see that conjunction was all about your raising your vibration, raising your awareness, and in some way becoming aware of who you are beyond conditioning or beyond outside factors that may have thrown you off course. So throughout this whole time, for the last month or so, we've been all going through a periodic improvement and insights and growth potential as different transits, benefic transits like Venus and Jupiter and now the Sun, have transited over Chiron. Chiron has been in intense aspect for the last couple months, even couple years. There's been a lot going on in Aries, and it's a lot to handle whether you have Aries placements or not. So now that Chiron has gone through these conjunctions, it's like a much needed relief. It's a release of everything that you've been going through. It's a release of everything that you've been processing. All the circumstances that have been coming up in your life are now being processed, and help is coming. And this full moon is even more of the same. So you're going to get even more help with this full moon, more insights. Pay attention to your surroundings, pay attention to what's happening around you, because it's all happening around us right now, and it's giving us so many solutions to life's problems. Let's talk about Chiron and Aries a little bit, because just to get us on the same page and all thinking in synchronicity. So Chiron and Aries is all about, and sorry if this is a repeat for those of you who have watched this before, but basically Chiron and Aries is all about in some way coming to terms with what you your potential, coming to terms with how your potential has been modified and changed by living life and the circumstances that you have been going through. If you have Chiron in Aries, this is particularly intense for you, but if you have Chiron in any sign, this still affects your area of your Aries chart. So whatever house it's in, whatever other planets are there, it impacts it. But most importantly for all of us, it impacts our self-esteem. It impacts where we situate ourselves in the world. A lot of success in the world, something came up this week. So a lot of success in the world comes from conditioning. A lot of success, it comes from the positions that we are afforded by chance, by luck of the draw. Some people are born into circumstances that are much more privileged, while others are faced with innumerable obstacles and challenges. And without getting too political about what that looks like or why that is, we need to respect the fact that the outside world dictates to us how much we get to live in our truth. There's only so much that we can do within our sphere of influence to affect the world around us. Some things we cannot change no matter how much we try. That doesn't mean we shouldn't try, but there are certain factors that will limit all of us or will help us get to where we are going. And so the sun with Chiron in this position isn't so much about what you didn't do, although it can mean that as well. It has to do with those conditioning, obstacles, circumstances that just are. And so it's who you are, why you are this way, what caused you to be this way, and how you can change that. So I think that there's a big pressure on people to take responsibility for their actions, and they should definitely confront what choices they've made to be here. But there's a truth that we tiptoe around, and that is what kind of circumstances have brought us into positions that we are in. And so the sun with Chiron is teaching us about that. It's challenging us to rise above whatever things have been kept from us or outside of our reach. So this energy has been getting major blessings. Now, I told you that there's a sequence of planets that have rolled over Chiron, but before that, it's been about a year before other transits made this transit. And so this was a place in which we've been facing how we're not good enough, what we need to do more, what could have happened if we played our cards differently, or if we had different circumstances that had mitigated our opportunities in life. So all of us have been dealing on a certain level of confronting of what could have been, of what we could have been if the circumstances weren't what they were. And so this is the relief point. And we've had it for a month, in some way giving us permission to allow ourselves to do the unthinkable, allow ourselves to do the things that we don't let ourselves to do because of who we are. So more of the same with the sun. Really pay attention now in the last few days to see what awareness has come through. Maybe you want to be a ballet dancer, but you're by your 5'11", that's me. And so maybe ballet felt like it was out of reach for you because of your height. Maybe this is the time to try. Maybe this is your time to do those things that you've always wanted to do, but may not be what you thought you could do, or maybe you've already denied yourself these things. And so hopefully over the last month, you've had a series of those things. Make sure to write them down. Make sure to keep track of them. But it's the full moon. So the sun is here in the middle of Aries. The moon is here in Libra. And so it's in the second decan of Libra, and it's it's smack dab in the middle. Libra is ruled by Venus. Venus is in Taurus. Venus just had a conjunction with Chiron as well at the beginning of March. And the second decan is ruled by Saturn, which is in Pisces in traditional astrology, and Uranus in modern astrology. So we have 3 different planets, 2 of them being in Taurus, 1 of them being in Pisces, which are energies that are different than Aries and Libra. Aries and Libra are the compatible energies of fire and air, whereas our ruling planets are currently in earth and water. So we have this interesting dynamic. This really helps people who have earth and water transits to feel this full moon. And so this full moon becomes a little watery, a little bit earthy as well. So those energies influence this. You do want to look at what Pisces is doing in your chart, what placements you have in Pisces, what houses it rules, and then also look at Taurus. Where's Taurus? Taurus is actually a huge part of our overall energy at this time, and you should really pay attention what's going on. If you have in Taurus, if you have placements in Taurus, whatever it is, a lot's going on there, so pay attention to that. I'm liking the transits here. We have Mercury, the North Node, Juno, Uranus, and Venus. And so Taurus is getting a big boost of energy, and Jupiter is about to enter your sign, so is the sun. So you're going to be getting a lot of positive energy in Taurus, lifting all those things up for us, all of us individually, no matter what sign you have. This energy of entering Taurus is going to be very good. It's a good time to start food, nurture kind of stuff. So if you're not eating healthy, this is a great time to start eating healthful foods. If you're physically not living your life in an optimal way for you, whatever that looks like, this is a wonderful time to do so. This is a wonderful time to get in touch with your body and get really comfortable in your skin and your circumstances. It's a wonderful time to clean around the house, to fix things, redecorate, improve, and just enjoy the physical, tangible things in life. So 2 of these rulers, the modern ruler of the second decan and Venus, the ruler of Libra, is here. And so we have that energy of the physical. So maybe some physical things are happening around you that are delightful or enjoyable, or helping to boost your self-esteem energy, to boost your self-confidence, to boost your morale. And so you should be drawing upon that. The way astrology works is it's kind of like weather reports. You know, it's raining, so what do? You put on a jacket, you bring an umbrella, you wear good shoes. It's kind of a way to interpret the energy and work with it. If it's sunny, what are you going to do? Put on sunblock, put on a dress or a tank top or something like that and enjoy the sun. So whatever this energy is telling you very clearly, enjoy the finer physical things in life. And so I hope you are. I hope you find the things in your life that are bringing you plenty. Saturn has entered into Pisces, and it's already shaking things up. There's already a lot of changes to our belief structures and our faith, and there's just kind of a critical look at religion, a critical look at spirituality. And so Saturn has immediately begun taking a look at our emotions and our spirit life and making sure that it's healthy and it's happy. So it's like sometimes when we have organized religions, when lots of people get together, we mess things up. And so Saturn has entered Pisces and is fixing it now. And so that is influencing the second decan of the moon. But what's going on here at 16 degrees of Libra, this is so interesting. This area of the sky, not in Libra itself, because remember I told you guys that these signs, these tropical zodiac signs, relate to constellations that are in other areas of the chart. So the tropical system works, but it's superimposed on a sidereal system of stars and constellations. So this area of the sky corresponds to actually the constellation of Virgo, that area. And so we have a couple different constellations working here. One's very high in the sky and one's very low, and they both bring to this specific energies. And so at 16 degrees of Libra, we have this area in which this is the area of the helping hand. This is the area where things change for the better. And so I want you to keep this in mind, this Chiron in mind. And if you haven't watched that video on Chiron in Aries and Jupiter conjunction, I think you should. It's the beginning of a cycle that's going to last 14 years. This is an activation point for it. This is when things get turned on. So you have an opportunity here to say, yes, I'm going to go with this energy, and I'm going to build up, and I'm going to improve upon and build upon what is. And what is this area bringing to you? There's a lot going on here. So let's go over some of it, because there's a lot there. And like I said, there's several different energies that are competing here. There's a couple different ways of looking at it, but it's one of these areas of the chart that's deeply rooted in our conceptualization of the totality of the universe, as people say, or it's kind of like the place in which there's a concentration of energy here, and it's gone back 8,000 years. It's an 8,000-year-old tradition. And so it's been reinterpreted by many different cultures and different ways, but there's something going on here about striving to do better, about rising above, about moving past your circumstances into better circumstances, and then having something bigger than you, an energy that's bigger than you, coming in and helping you in some way. So whatever you have identified as this place of challenge, this Chiron and the sun, this area of the sky is lifting you up, and it's helping you. There are things coming in your way to help you to turn on the lights. It's a helping hand, very similar to the Hamsa, which is the protective symbol and of the evil eye. But it's overall protective energy coming to help. It's God's hand reaching out if you believe in God. But if whatever faith you may be, it's a helpful energy here. And it's also an energy of the sunrise. So here in this specific area of the chart, we're talking about the sun rising, and with that, improving things forward. It's a very big area for the new year. That whole theme of the astrological new year is very powerful here. And so we have these very helpful energies, the protection of the universe. And if you don't believe in God, I'm not particularly religious. I'm secular in my belief system, so don't feel like I'm preaching religion here. But if you are, that's okay. And so here, what we're talking about is energies, whatever they are, be they religious or secular, coming in to help you and intervene. So whatever it is that you're struggling with, you're going to get help in some way. You're going to get facilitation here in some way to kind of move you forward and to assure things are going to be okay in your life. You do want to look at where this is in your chart, but that comes with good energy, okay? This is a wonderful place where there's so much success. There's here a period of harvest. There's also there's a story here of the herdsman and the bear, in which a jealous goddess turns someone's mother into a bear. And unbeknownst to him, there's a couple different stories. That's why I'm not using the names, because they're just different names. But unbeknownst to him, a hunter goes hunting after the bear. And so, but it's his mother. He hadn't been turned into a bear. And so he chases the bear all around the sky. And this is the Big Dipper, right? And the constellation is the Boots. And he chases the bear all around the sky to this point, and then God intervenes from him killing his mother and turns them both into constellations, and they're circumpolar, which means that they don't actually set. They're always up in the northern hemisphere. And so they just go around and around the sky all year round. So it's the perpetual chase, but he doesn't know that he wants to hunt the bear, but it's his mother has been turned. So it's divine intervention here. It's a beautiful story, and it is like Greek and Roman, and there's other traditions of this story, but it's a nice story, primarily Greek and Roman. Okay, so we have this kind of energy. And how does this herdsman idea translate to us? Well, the herdsman is deeply connected with the dawn of civilization. And so it dates back, like I said, to 6000 BC. This is a time when, people were developing agriculture, and he's carrying a sickle, by the way, in one hand, and then he's chasing the bear. And so he's a herdsman, which means that this Boots constellation coincides with the dawn of everything. And if you don't know, the earliest civilizations began by hunting and then husbandry of cattle. So nurturing cattle and then living off of their cattle, that they began to adapt into more of a domestication process, which means they became farmers and they became like husbandry. They began husbandry. And so they began, so this is very old. It's much older than, the 6000 BC. And so our information about this is just partial, but this area was always connected for the ancients with the earliest practices of what led us to have civilization. So here is this intervention of God to prevent this man from killing his mother, thinking that she was a bear, but she's not, saving both of them. So there's this divine intervention. There's the growth of the heavenly shepherd. The beginning of all civilization starts here as well. But it's not all easy peasy in this section of the sky. In fact, this is the area of the sky that would cause droughts and famine, because this was the area of the sky when these constellations were at their highest. It was when that was then when they would have a dry season. And so they would find out here what the circumstances were with all of these new agrarian practices. So people became really aware of, what to do and where everything was happening that year. So people were watching the sky and trying to figure out, whether they were going to have good crop yields or how bad things were they going to get hit with a drought, all of those things. And this is when droughts would also happen in this area of the sky. And so, it was life and death for them. They didn't have as many resources as we do. So there is this area here of a bit of a warning, about a bit of really seeing where things are happening for you. Right now, you see exactly where you stand. So if it's something that's positive that you're seeing in your life, you might be, feeling confident that whatever's happening is good. Or maybe if you're seeing concerning things, I would really take them seriously. So be hopeful and optimistic with this full moon, but also read the writing on the wall. Whatever is happening, it is happening. Don't mess around. Be aware of this energy. So we have the Boots constellation, which is high up in the sky. In the southern part, underneath Virgo and Libra, is the Corvus, the crow, the raven constellation. And so here in the Corvus, this is the second correspondence to this full moon that's really big. We have a crow that likes to procrastinate, okay? And it's in Virgo. And if you know any Virgos, especially those of you who are born, I would say, in the September months, procrastination is an Achilles heel for Virgos, and that probably corresponds with the Corvus constellation. And so when we transpose those constellations onto Western zodiacal, tropical zodiacal, it becomes Libra, but in some way it corresponds with Virgo as well. It's too complicated to explain here, but you kind of have to take it in both directions. Anyway, so we have the raven, and so the raven is a trickster, and a lot of the stories that correspond to the raven being a trickster in Western practice, because I know First Nations people have their own stories of raven being the trickster. That's a separate thing from the astrology. But in Western eyes, the raven is also a trickster, because the raven is asked by Apollo to get him some food, and instead of getting him some food, he procrastinates, and then he grabs the Hydra and says that the Hydra caused him to be late with Apollo's food. And so Apollo knows this and says, "You've been lying to me, Raven," and then sets him off into a constellation called the Corvus. That's one of the stories. I think that's the one that applies here. So what does that mean to us? Maybe at this time we see the manipulation of others. Maybe at this time we see, people, I don't know, just you see the truth about what they're up to, whether it's in your life or maybe it's, in political arena, you're seeing the writing on the wall a bit more. And if you want to participate in any of this kind of raven-like behavior, procrastination, lying about it, trying to conceal the truth, blaming it on someone else, then I think that this is a time in which that all energy starts to get worked out. So whoever's doing that trickster dance is going to have a hard time with this full moon. So keep that in mind. So it's a beautiful full moon. It's a beautiful moon at 16 degrees of Libra. If you have placements at 16 degrees of Libra, you're a very special person for that. It's a really special area of the chart. And even the raven is a beautiful story. There's many beautiful stories about the raven. And it's not like a trickster in an evil way, but it's a reminder for us to get on with it. And so to tie it all up with all this Aries energy that we've been working through with Chiron, it's basically saying whatever you've come to realize that's your challenge, whatever life's left you with, whatever you've left yourself with, wherever you find yourself now, this is your time. The sun is rising. God's going to help you. The universe will help you. Get on with it. Don't procrastinate and stop deflecting. Okay? So that's a very linear message. And remember, I mentioned the practical and the emotional. So what we're looking at here in Taurus, with Venus and Uranus, the two rulers of this area of the sky in Libra. So the Taurus energy is making it practical. So look at what you practically can do to make things better. Put some energy into it. Stop procrastinating. And then the spiritual sense in Pisces, Saturn's your emotional filter now, right? So exactly you need to improve on what you need to improve. It's not a big deal. This is just a knock, knock, knock reminder. And so if somebody's messing around with you, you're going to find out very easily about that. But if you are messing around with someone else, it's not going to be an easy time for whoever's doing the manipulative or deflecting. Someone's blaming you for something, they're going to get found out. All of these stories. But the most powerful energy here is the rising sun, and it's basically another permeation of the new year. Okay? So why don't we talk about, I love it, if you guys can't tell, why don't we talk about what that means for each zodiac sign, and I'll kind of tell you guys how that applies to your life and what that means for you. Okay? So we'll start first with the devil, which is Capricorn. Let's talk about what that means for your sign if you have sun, moon, or rising in Capricorn. Let's switch the chart over. What else? Oh, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to make the energy real. You guys know what to do. Engage and enjoy. Okay, so I have nothing else to say. Members, I will be putting out a video tomorrow probably for you guys. Sorry it took a couple extra days. Okay, so let's take a look at Seven of Pentacles. See, we're going to see a lot of Pentacles come up today. We have 2 cards show up. We have the Wheel of Fortune, and we have the Ace of Cups. And let's see. Then we have the Tower for Capricorn, and we have the 10 of Cups, and we have the 2 of Wands. So whatever has happened, something has happened for many Capricorns. This is in the past. You're coming out of a situation in which things were pretty shaky, or may have felt very disturbed. What you thought was happening didn't happen in the way that you thought it would happen, and now you're here. But the cards moving forward, or that you're already in, are blessed. You're already blessed in the energy, and it's all about accepting the vision of moving forward. I think there's an energy here of still processing everything that happened with this Tower. You're still internalizing and trying to understand everything that happened or what it means. There's new possibilities for relationships with other people. Ace of Cups. Very good luck is coming your way. Positive, hopeful, new relationships that are established are thriving. Financial things are fine. Nothing's been too deeply disturbed. Even if you lost some money at it, your success is not undermined. This card just reminds me that you are holding on to something. You're still working through what happened, and you're limiting yourself. That Chiron and Aries, you're limiting yourself. Maybe you need to look at it for a certain amount of time, but this is saying it's time to look up, because you're not paying attention to all the good things that are happening. This was too shocking, too disturbing. It kind of shook you up and it distracted you, but you need to pay attention now to the relationships in particular that are very supportive of your energy. And so this full moon is in your 10th house. This could be an embarrassment at work. This could be some kind of career shakeup, or some moment in your career that felt uncomfortable. You will be surprised. There is much more good things that are coming out of everything. I think your interpretation of what happened is much more pessimistic than the actual reality. And so you're seeing, I think people like you. That's the main part. I think you may think that whatever's happened has somehow influenced how people feel about you, but I think people like you. I think you're the one who's shutting down. You're the one who's probably in some way ruminating and not allowing other people to see. So just know that other people want to see you. It's not as bad as it seems. And out of all this, you have good relationships that are enduring, so people aren't leaving, and new ones coming. Okay? So that's your energy for this. By the way, I'm reading on a full moon, which is probably like one of the most, it's a very highly energy moment. I'm reading about 3 hours before the full moon. Okay, so let's see the next energy is we have Aquarius. I'm shuffling the cards in between because I didn't feel like I got a good shuffle in before, so I don't want it to be the same as the last video. But let's take a look at Aquarius. 6 cards for Aquarius also. We have the King of Swords. We have, we have the 3 of Wands. And then we have the 5 of Pentacles. Okay. Somebody has a very pessimistic view around you, Aquarius. Maybe it's you, because this is the King of Swords. But maybe it's someone. I almost feel like you want to cheer someone up, but no matter what you do, they go back to a negative baseline. They go to a negative baseline, and you keep on trying to infuse the circumstance with positive energy, but they are very much in a rut, both physically and spiritually, which is the Wands. Then we have the Fool, and then we have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, that's Sun. See, I feel as though this person is a distraction, and I think you love them. I don't think this is someone who you care about. So I don't think that I'm not saying to like just change your direction, but with this Eight of Pentacles, it's really encouraging you to focus on your task at hand. And it's very hard to do because their suffering is distracting. Maybe it's your own suffering that's distracting you from what you need to do. That may be the truth for some of you, but somebody's suffering is distracting you from the things that you should be doing, or the things that are going to be constructive for your success. And I think that with this full moon, there's a reorientation. We have the Fool here, and we have the Eight of Pentacles, and you're going to get very much focused in and focused on what you need to do. I think you're going to see the truth in some situation. This is not to put down what they're going through, but you can still, and you still will be caring, you still will be providing help. But I think that you see the futility in your actions because there's something else going on for this person, or their healing is taking a very long time. And so you need to provide them the space to heal and nurture. And so there's this distancing. And also, if this is happening to you, let's say you're heartbroken and struggling and you feel like it's an upward battle at this time, you too will identify in that the futility of repeating the action, the futility of repeating the action and not doing what you need to do because you're so distracted by the difficulties. And so you'll choose to compartmentalize and separate. Let's look at the astrology a bit together. So for you, it's about it's the ninth house. The God is coming, the sunrise in your ideas, the new moon or the full moon, but it's very much also a sunrise. Out of everything that has happened, the culmination point, just to be clear, the culmination point, the rise to awareness of everything you've been struggling with. There are environmental factors, Chiron and Aries in your third house, that are difficult to manage. Distractions. And so whatever way, it's very difficult to reach. With the full moon in Libra here, you are figuring out a way through. This doesn't mean that you're pushing emotional needs of yourself or anybody else away. It's just you're finding your way to achieve the things that you need to do without getting pulled in to the situation, without getting pulled into the suffering, or the difficulties that they're not something you can change, right? So for now, there's a strong feeling of like time has to go by for things to heal. So certain things have to happen for things to heal, to come out on top, to get figured out, and that's not something you can control. So you have to wait it out with this person, but you can't let their suffering or whatever has been going on keep you from finding success. This is tangible, physical, material success, and seeing the outcomes of your efforts. Okay. So Aquarius, remember, and in terms of astrology, I've been telling you guys energetic low, right? And so this does not mean depression or something negative, but energetically you are at a low point. Things are going to be picking up from here. It's only up from here. And so this is the worst it's going to get. This is the least energy you're going to have. This is the most stagnant time for you. And so it's already picking up. It's already moving faster than it was a month ago. Okay. And Pluto in Aquarius. So, hey girl, hey. Okay. So we have the Sagittarian Temperance card. Let's take a look at your energy for Sagittarius. Hi, Sag. Okay. So let's take a look at the full moon energy for Sagittarius. Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising. Okay, so we have strength, Leo energy. You don't have to have Leo placements for this to be relevant. And we have the Emperor card. This is Aries energy, but again, no Aries needed. Lots of fire. And then we have this. This is an extra card in this deck. This is the Tarot of the Templars. It reminds me of the Pied Piper, but like if you look, they have been freed. So the chains that bind them are free. Imagine chaining up an angel. Like, how unfair would that be? So the angel is set free. They're holding a flute. Sorry if the light's not letting me show you more. Okay, Queen of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, secondary transits, pretty watery. Doesn't all the transits, we don't have to have those. We have the Two of Pentacles. We're talking about earthy energies today. I know it's an air sign, but it's a very practical look. Ten of Pentacles, happiness and joy, family. I feel like everybody in Sag's life is sort of in the right frame of heart, in the right frame of mind. I think that some things that have been inhibiting your life, Sagittarius, are being set free. So whatever has been kind of holding you back, holding you down, is set free. There's a meticulous way of figuring out how to solve situations, to find a good outcome, happiness, togetherness, just all this wonderful energy. This is keen awareness of what you need to do in your environment to get things right. And the Two of Pentacles is the right mental approach in that you are approaching everything a step at a time. So you find this incremental way of finding the success you want. This is a real energy of conspiratorial energy between all the people who are involved to really make this situation or these circumstances positive. So everybody's on their best behavior. Everybody is kind of being positive, being nice. There's just this, I think there's just this positive energy around you, Sagittarius. And so yes, we have your card. And then, Leo, the Strength card, and we have Emperor, which is Aries. And so also, I think that like something has your back, the energy, you're supported, and someone in your life is giving you support and positive energy. Okay, so when we're looking at the 11th house where the full moon is happening, it really, remember the idea of the helping hand, especially from a divine source, but this could be the helping hand of a friend. And this is what I'm getting here, that someone is like, if it's in your family, someone's on your side, or if it's in your friend group, someone's really standing up for you and bringing to you positivity, bringing to you kindness, positivity, and good luck. And so it's really good. This is all connected to asking for what you need. So asking, and a lot of times people don't get what they need because they back off of asking what they really want. In the 5th house in Chiron and Aries, many Sagittarian types are going to be going through that energy, feeling as though they can't ask, or all those barriers that keep you from asking. You suddenly see how they work in your life and you're like, I'm just going to ask for what I want and see what I get. So I think that you'll be getting much more. It's just by putting yourself out there and to the right people, because it's the moon in your 11th house. And then it's established relationships. So we're looking at people who you already know. We're looking at people with whom you already have established relationships and rapport. There's a freeing up of being locked up in a situation, you're no longer stuck in the situation that you were stuck in before, and now you can really find common ground with people who care about you. Okay, so this is wonderful energy for Sagittarius. Okay, so let's see the next energy. We have Taurus. Hi, Taurus. Let's look at Taurus's astrology, sun, moon, and rising. And then we'll do some tarot, and then we'll just touch on the astrology and explain the astrology. Okay, so Taurus, like I said in the intro, if you're a Taurus, watch the introduction. A lot of this full moon has to do with you. It's not that, well, two of the rulers of the full moon are in Taurus right now. However, it's more about the fact that so much is going on in Taurus at this time, so much positivity. There's just so much positive energy that's coming into your sign, and so that's giving you good relationships dynamics, and these are all benefic, positive transits, planets. Some people say Uranus, nay, but I like Uranus. So this is all good energy coming into Taurus. You're kind of revving up. Things are looking up. Enjoy your life. Put yourself out there. Interact with people. Put yourself out there. Look, we have the Two of Cups. I'm not going to put that away. So we have the Ten of Pentacles and the Two of Cups right away. There's a very loving energy here. And then we have the Eight of Cups. This is Saturn in Pisces, so this may come up in readings for the next 2 years a lot, but for you it's in the 11th house. I have a feeling that you've walked away from some toxic friendships, and from my recollection, in a recent video, you had a lot of that theme come up. I don't have many Taurus placements, so I don't remember for me personally, but Eight of Cups, I feel like you had friends who were holding you back from enjoying your other friends and other relationships. We have the Two of Wands, the Hanged Man, and so those people have been filtered out, and so now you have more time for people with whom you care about. And then we have the Two of Pentacles. You need to make some decisions. This is saying that there's a bit of a slowdown energy here. You need to make some decisions about where you want to see things go. Maybe because the sun is still in your 12th house, you need to make some decisions about where things will go when Jupiter enters Taurus. It's still preparatory, and the sun enters Taurus. So maybe you've cleared your slate, you've cleaned things up, and you allowed yourself to get rid of toxic energies, toxic people, and toxic circumstances that were weighing you down. And you have people who love you, or you have already that energy with the people that you love is really good right now and very good dynamics. And so now with this Hanged Man, it's saying like things are not happening as quickly as you thought they would. No, things aren't happening as fast as you thought they would, or what you thought it would be like. And I think that's all by design. It's all for a reason. And we have the Two of Wands and we have the Two of Pentacles saying carefully put your future together now. So pay attention to the things that are happening now. And look, this full moon, actually, I was paying attention over here, but I didn't even look. This full moon is in your 6th house. It just light bulb went off, went on. And so in the 6th house, it's telling me it is that practicalness. It is that, how are you going to structure your life moving forward? What are you gonna put together? Like, how are things going to be? How are you going to put things together? What do you want? How are you going to put your day together? How is it going to all work? Think about where are you seeing things go? I think you have a vision for yourself, but get into the details and think about what is happening. There's also going to be help coming to you now, Taurus, in how you approach things. You know, maybe a gym that you've wanted to go to will have a special. Maybe something that you want to do to make your life work well will come in with some way to do that more easily. I recently, I don't know if you guys have seen them. This is like a new sport. There's these like long surfboards. So sort of like for when people do the stand up, I don't know, ocean walking thing. That's not my thing with the paddles. That's not my thing. But I saw this kind of stepping machine, and it's on a board, and you can go on water, and you can literally do the stepping machine on water and kind of paddle around. That's like so my thing. It's great. So you're standing on top of water, a lake or some kind of, calm body of water, and you can just paddle around using your legs, standing on it. And I have to have this thing. So I found this thing. This would be something that you may find. This is like, you may find your own thing. Like I've been looking for like a sport that I'd like to do that's kind of like a good thing for me. So that's something that I'd be interested in doing. So Taurus, there's going to be, look around, and things will come into your life that will help you do what you want to do a bit easier. Maybe it's for fun or recreation, like I just gave an example of, or maybe it's like something that will save you time, save you money, help you do things more efficiently too. So, pretty exciting. Pretty exciting and kind of a good idea, but it's going to be slow. You need to figure out how to make it work. The board that I want, it's $4,000, so I need to save money because it's very expensive, and it's probably trademarked, which means that price is going to stay the same for a long time. So if I have one, I have to Two of Pentacles it, figure out how I'm going to do it financially. And so maybe you too need to figure out, maybe I'll build my own, right? But it was a Two of Pentacles, and so basically, Taurus, you have to figure out how to make it work, okay? Okay, so we have the Strength card, which is the card of Leo. Hey, Leo, let's talk to you next. Let's see what's going on with this full moon for you in Libra. Okay, so for you, this is the 3rd house. Okay. Let's do tarot first, and then we'll look at the astrology second. We have the Fool. Okay, new beginning. I think the Fool's going to come up a lot because Uranus is the modern ruler of the 2nd decan. And then we have the Devil, and I talked about that in the intro. Capricorn energy. We have the Moon, Pisces. Ooh, look at all those trumps for Leo. Huge. I got this very ethereal vibe when you came up, which meant it felt like the big hand is over us, guiding us now. 10 of Pentacles, this is coming up for everyone. Mercury and Virgo. That won't happen for a couple months. And then we have the Ace of Cups again. Ooh, I like this. So these are beautiful energies for Leo. You're afraid of something to do with a new beginning. So there's a new beginning here, and then there's concern, or maybe there's like things that you are worried about from before. Whatever it is, you have some degree of concern, of worry of how things will be or how things will go. But that's to do with the new beginning. So it's apprehension. And it has to do with things in the past that were challenges. So your call to action here is to confront whatever is scaring you about the situation and ask yourself if it's legitimate concerns or if it's you holding yourself back. Remember, the theme of Chiron and the Sun is all about how we've been conditioned by ourselves or our environment to limit our current experiences, and the Sun over Chiron is showing us how we're doing that. So you're seeing how you're not making certain choices in the way that you would have if certain things didn't happen. You're seeing how you can open yourself up more, how you can engage more and do more. And so you have an opportunity, and the challenge is on you to see if you're holding yourself back from this new opportunity. So that's what this is saying. You have, Leo, you have some kind of fear. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles. Somebody's being extremely generous. This is someone with whom you have a very good relationship. It's probably established, might be a family relationship. And then we have the Ace of Cups, which is totally new beginnings, friends, you know, nice company, positive energy, all of that. So we have this beautiful, beautiful healing energy here. And so somebody around you is being generous, somebody's being kind, giving a lot to you, Leo. And this could be a new relationship, but it feels as though you're deeply bonding, or this is helping you. Now, in terms of your astrology, the astrology here is beautiful for Leo, and it's not going to go away for a while. And a lot of people say just to watch for your rising. That's only one or two different versions of astrology that say that. And they try to, which is fine. Everybody has a right to their opinion. But I think that it's kind of problematic when people say you can't do it in any other way. And I don't think they're correct. I think there are other ways of interpreting the chart. And the reason I'm saying this here is if you have any placements in Leo, any concentration, any focal point, this applies to you. And this is going to be very good for anyone who, Leo has the best transit right now, beyond some of, like, Taurus is doing really well, but Leo, your astrology is beautiful here, which means trust your environment at this time, trust what's going on. You're really seeing the possibilities, and there's a lot of supportive energy to help to get you to where you are going. Pluto in Capricorn was not nice for Cancer, but for Leo, it's actually a different story. Pluto in Aquarius is really good for your relationships. So might already be starting. This is going to really rev up your relationships. It's going to make them really charismatic and really romantic. There's a high chemistry increase here. We'll talk about that all later. The only thing is with Lilith here in Leo, you really do want to be careful of making sure you're not acting out through your ego, but just embracing the possibilities. But there's no energy. Maybe this is your Lilith energy, this devil, the moon, doubting yourself or feeling like more gloomy about the prospects or the possibility of the things that are happening. But I can only encourage you to just lean in and do as much as you can. You have wonderful energy here. If you meet someone, give them a chance and, spend some time with them. So whether it's a friend or more romantic, you should be giving people opportunities to know you right now. So if you come across someone and they say, hey, let's hang out, you should probably try to hang out with them. Okay, let's see the next energy. We have the Hermit, Virgo. Hey, Virgo, let's take a look at your astrology for this full moon in Libra, which is your second house. Money, money, money. Okay, let's see the second house for Virgos. We have the Sun, which is a blessing. I think this is the first time the sun came out. As you can see, it's super gloomy. If you guys noticed, I had to turn up the lights in the video. We have the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so finances are stopping you from everything that you want to do. Not from everything, but there's something that you want to do. But I told you guys, if you were watching the Taurus video, I was just talking about how I don't have enough money for a new paddle board because it's really expensive. So it's that kind of thing. I really want to do it, but I don't think I can afford it. I don't think I can justify $4,000 for that. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles. A lot of people are getting this. Ten of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles. Okay, lots of this. So when a Queen of Pentacles is showing up, and you guys see I'm shuffling. So Queen of Pentacles is coming up for a lot of the signs. It came up for half of them so far. And in combination with the Ten of Pentacles, to me, this isn't just an earth sign. It may be Sun, Moon, Rising, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, secondary transits. It could be a person like that. But this is telling me that someone around us, all the people who are getting this combination, there's like a real generosity here. There's a real sustenance. There's a real kindness, generosity, good nature, just something good coming in. Okay. So what do we have here? We have the sun, worried about money. There's just very good energy of love around you, Virgo, and it doesn't have to be a queen. It could be a man. It could be a they. It could be, there's something coming in. There's a change. I think that something is mitigating your financial worry. Now, your financial worry does not feel like I said, for me, it was like the paddle boat thing. Like it's such an indulgence, right? Like I'm not crying about it at all. It's just like, it's like crying over a Lamborghini. Like, why would you cry over not being able to afford a Lamborghini? It's the same kind of thing. So not heartbroken at all, but we all have limitations as to what we can buy, right? So it's that kind of situation. I'm not saying you're destitute but there is some financial or material concern of where you want things to go, and so your relationships with other people is going to turn that around. I think that you're stepping into financial prosperity. There's prosperity coming your way, and this full moon is, so let's go back to the herdsman, right? Because this is like the primary energy here in the middle of Libra, and so this is the old constellations, right? They weren't called the boots before. This is the modern name for the constellation, but it is essentially the source, right? Where we figured out how to cattle farm and how to, at that time it wasn't even cattle farming. It was, they would chase these wild cattle. So before, this was the transition into farming. And so this energy here is extremely abundant. And remember, I told you the helping hand of God or some power. So whatever you're missing in financial matters, maybe some changes have happened for you in terms of not being sure how to make things happen in the way that you want it. Your financial circumstances feel like they're changing, Virgo. And again, I'm not saying like it's a improvement, but it doesn't feel like you're in a tough spot to begin with. It feels like it could be better, which it could be better for most people right now. But I feel like this is the message, right? And it facilitates to you through your relationships with other people, and the death card, which is Scorpio. So abundance, turnaround, improvement. Scorpio rules the 8th house, which is where the sun and Chiron is. So this is like energy coming in from the outside source giving abundance, lift, and improvement. And there's so much ahead, Virgo, here. The North Node has gone over the top of your chart, and you've all had collectively, Sun, Moon, and Rising Virgo, have gone through a huge kind of moment to assess where you want to go in life, like where you want to go, who you want to be. You've rethought things through. You've had a huge think about it. You've had a huge kind of change. There's a huge shift. And so something's taking you in a new direction, and whatever physical limitations, material limitations that may have held you back, those are going to get drastic improvements with this full moon. It's all starting now, okay? All right, so next sign is Gemini. Hey, Gemini, I feel like good things are coming in for Gemini. Just really, really good things for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So yeah, I think good things are coming in for Gemini. I've been getting like just high energy moments are coming in. So these transits here are about to all start shifting into Gemini, which is going to be good. We're getting ready for Gemini season, which is next. But the full moon is in your 5th house, which is romance, so that's good too. Let's see. Before we see any cards, what I'll say for Gemini is that there's a pickup of energy for Gemini that's starting with this full moon. And there's this kind of just new opportunities, new directions. There's just such a shift, and finally the missing pieces are showing up, whatever they are, whether it's people or there's missing things are showing up. Whatever's been missing to, like, whatever you've been missing to make things work, they're showing up for you right now. We have the King of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This showed up a lot too. Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles to me suggests like it's all moderate, you know. Remember the story of the crow? Kind of all the stories of the crow center upon procrastination, passing the buck, and just sort of blowing things off, honestly. And then also lying about it and manipulations. And so, but it encourages us to take it one step at a time. And so do the things you need to do to get to where you are going. Okay, so we have the Ace of Swords. Okay, there's progress in a relationship with someone. If you have an established relationship with someone, you're going to see progress, incremental progress with them. That means that if it's your partner, they're going to start being more conciliatory, helping you to achieve what it is that you want to achieve. Then we have the Two of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and we have the Fool. Okay, so someone's standing as your barrier, Gemini, to achieving something. And I got that right away. It could be a person situation. Honestly, I feel like you're underwhelmed by what's been happening around you. Like it's been very underwhelming, flat, uninteresting, not enough fun friends, not enough fun things. Your mind is active, but there's a lack of people joining. So I started school in Eastern Europe in Poland. And when I came to Canada, I tried to start groups. When I moved to Canada, I was a kid, and I wanted to start groups and get other kids doing the way that kids in Poland did things, which was organizing like a group towards some kind of like what we're doing now. That's what I kept on trying to get people to join groups with me. So I'm very good at that now. But basically it's a more formal structure, I guess, in Poland, or it was. And so I would try to get kids to, you know, have like a class club with me. But it was very, very hard. I was kept on trying. It was very hard to get people motivated because it wasn't the culture here. And so my little clubs, when I came, went down the drain. They didn't work. And so I really relate that to this, in which you want to see things happen, but people don't understand, or they don't get it, or it's the wrong people, whatever it is. So I think that that's what it is. And so incremental progress, maybe it's one person who you're trying to get on board with an idea, or maybe it's whatever. But here, look, there's someone who has a lot of love. A lot of people have been getting the Queen of Pentacles with the Ten of Pentacles, but you have the Queen of Cups with the Two of Cups. Where's Saturn? Saturn's, oh yeah, it's right at the top of your chart. There you go. Somebody's coming in who supports you. Somebody who wants to give you, who loves you and wants to facilitate for you this new direction, this new spark. So whatever idea you have. So what I was trying to say was, when I came to Canada, I was seriously underwhelmed by the fact that people didn't want to join clubs, and because I had been conditioned into liking that kind of thing. Like in Poland, that's what kids did. And so I was like disappointed nobody wanted to do that here. And so it's fine. Like they did their own clubs. I'm not down on anyone, but they just didn't want to do clubs. But anyway, so this is a similar energy in which there's something on your mind, And for whatever reason, it's been hard to convey that, to get people to understand. But I think somebody's gonna come in and give you helping hand. The full moon is actually in your 5th house. This speaks really strongly to this. So if you want a loving relationship with someone, this could be saying that you're having like a lovely interaction with someone at this time. That you're having a lovely interaction at this time, and it's slow. It's 2 of Pentacles, one thing, but it's moving forward. You're going to get some kind of sign that things are moving in the right direction. You're going to get indication. And if it's not love, romance, then it's friendship. There's just some kind of positive sign that a relationship with a King of Cups type woman or man, or they, just leading in a good direction. Okay, so that's very important. Let's see the next message. So we have Pisces. Hey Pisces, let's take a look at your astrology and tarot for the full moon. Let's see. It said that I had lots of time, but it's getting a little darker, so sorry about the darker video. I looked at when the sunset, and it said we're still ahead of the sunset by a good 35 minutes, but it's getting darker. It's very overcast here today. Okay, so Pisces. So Saturn's in Pisces, 8 of Cups. That makes sense. This card is ruled by Saturn in Pisces. And then we have the 6 of Swords. Walk away, Pisces, from whatever is in your way. A lot of people are getting this. I really like this card today. This is Mercury in Virgo. And so a lot of people are walking away. I think who else was Taurus had the similar energy of walking away from underwhelming relationships. Gemini just had a similar energy too. Walking away from what doesn't work towards what does. And this is more focused on established relationships, people who you already know, people with whom you've already connected, people who are already in your network. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Page of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And then we have the Judgment card, which is the Last Judgment, Pluto. This is Scorpio energy, huge card. You might be embarking on something new with someone at this time. You're letting go of one person, one situation, and you're confirming a financial opportunity with someone in a new direction. You have this full moon in the 8th house. This could signify that you're merging your assets with someone, which could mean marriage. So in a financial sense, making a big decision. This could be like a person who has held on to a relationship for a long time, a relationship that had ended previously, and now they're in some way opening themselves up to a new relationship and saying goodbye to that old relationship that they held on to for so long. I think that this is like really identifying who is good for you, Pisces, here. I think you see very clearly who works and who doesn't. And I see you turning your back on people who don't work very well and really in order to give your time to who does. And this is the 8th house. Whenever you have a full moon in the 8th house, which is once a year for every sign, it really focuses on changing of relationships. And if you break up with someone on a full moon in the 8th house, it's likely that relationship is permanently over. You're not going to hear from this person again. Or if you do, it's not going to be that same relationship. But what to me this really looks like in terms of cards, 8 of Cups and 6 of Swords, the breakups happen. This is holding on to the past relationships or past memories that are haunting. And this is like there's something really good in the present, and a decision is made at the end, the Last Judgment, to kind of put the past behind you and step into the present moment. Saturn in Pisces, I've already said this a few times, but I just really want to stress, I think is really good for you. I think it's going to really sober your ideas up. I'm not saying anybody's intoxicated, but I'm just saying it's going to give you that sobering perspective, which is refreshing. Suddenly, like, everything's clear. Suddenly you don't care as much as you used to. You don't compromise yourself. Suddenly you don't compromise yourself, and suddenly it's easier to do what you need to do without a bunch of emotions in the way. But this Knight of Pentacles and Page of Pentacles, they're making a decision. The Page almost makes it seem as though they're giving an idea or offering something to you that is helping you decide. But I feel like there's much more strength in the present moment than in the past, and this full moon is helping you see that, and it's helping you to just look around, because Taurus is such a supportive energy here. Just look around in your environment, look around what's around you. Who are your established relationships? Who are your siblings? Sometimes when we change circumstances in our lives, like leave a relationship or leave a social group, we go back to our friends, or we go back to the friends that we grew up with, or maybe sometimes we go back to our siblings or cousins and reconnect with them again and have a really nice time. So this might be something that, you know, you're getting back to the right people, the tested and true. So whatever change is happening, embrace it. I think you feel relief. I think that there's a feeling of cleanness here, like you've cleaned up whatever was messy or difficult. Okay, let's see. So next we have Scorpio coming in from the cold. Let's see, Scorpio. Okay, hi Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We'll do astrology in a minute. The full moon is in your 12th house. This is an interesting place for the 12th house because of and this is true for any Scorpio placement that has the, Libra and the 16th degree of Libra in their 12th house. 16th degree of Libra in the 12th house is an interesting placement. Let's see what cards we have. So we have the Seven of Wands. Okay, sticking up for yourself. And then we have the Ace of Cups. A lot of people had new relationships come through. I'll tell you guys about that placement in just a minute. And then we have the Empress. I'm just thinking about everything. Sticking up for yourself. Demand right now what you are worth. This is whatever circumstances you're in at this time, be it work, relationships, friendships. This is a time to really assert like what you're worth in relationships. Five of Swords. Ooh, that's an intense one. And then we have the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles. Let's see. And then we have the 10 of, ooh, look at this, good. Happy ending. Okay. Okay. I was getting the Five of Swords felt very intense, like you had to be up against something. There is a frustrating situation around you, Scorpio. It's not one that you necessarily have a lot of control over. So it feels very like disarming or difficult to in some way control or influence. I'm trying to fix this a little bit so that we get the best possible, so we can see the most. No, it's just going to wash out the reading for you. I promised to do these earlier. I have the worst luck right here. Oh, there we go. Okay. I have the worst luck with the readings, like in timing and stuff. I'm rushing, and then anyway, so here is your reading. So we have the Seven of Wands, we have the Ace of Cups, we have the Empress, we have the Five of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, and the 10 of Cups. It feels as though you're caught up in a situation that's frustrating. I sensed it right away. The Five of Swords in this case feels quite intense and quite quite like you can't do much about it. But all the other cards are pointing to the fact that your relationships are sustaining. There's generosity around you, Scorpio. There's a new relationship or new relationship that you're building yourself up to. You're getting emotional fulfillment in a new way from an established relationship. So things are working out. There's a real harmony here between yourself and the people around you. So it lifts you out of the things you cannot control. The friend that's not a good friend, the person who let you down, the situation, that one situation in your life that's not working out right now, will be overshadowed by all the positives. Very good for romance, very good for relationships, very good getting the emotional your needs met here. So whatever is happening in your life at this time, it's feeling fulfilling. Some type of generosity, gifts, you might be getting gifts. In terms of the astrology, it's in the 12th house. This could be something attached. The 5 of Swords is coming up because it's something attached to a past life, to the subconscious. It's something that's residual, right? Like something that needs to sort itself out. It feels very out of place for the rest of the energy. Overall, you are heavy into the positive relationships, positive dynamics with others. You're looking at a year of Jupiter in Taurus, and that's going to leave an improvement in relationships. So don't let that one situation overshadow the others. Your love, your relationships with others are blossoming. Stand up for yourself. Say what you want. Don't hold back from telling the people around you what you need from them and what kind of relationship you want to have with them, okay? So this is the time for you to assert your needs and what you want, okay? And you will be getting this. And so focus on these good relationships that are growing and that are abundant and that are there for you. And for some of you, this is new love also. So the full moon, it feels like the blueprint. It feels like you're working within the design or the architecture of your life here. So not everything's perfect, and that's why you're seeing not everything being perfect. Be patient with those things. The jagged edges, they will smooth themselves out. It does not feel like you need to put so much effort into fixing them right now. You just have to let them work themselves out and be, okay? Probably tied into the past in some way, much more so than the present. Okay, so we have Chariot. I'm losing light very quickly, but I'll have enough time before the sun sets. Hold on, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Okay. I'm not sick. I don't know. Somebody's thinking about me. Okay. Okay, so we have Cancer next, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let's take a look at the energy here. So for Cancer, your full moon is in the 4th house. This is the 4th house is Cancer's house, the house and home, and family relationships. This is nice. Okay, so we have the 2 of Cups. We have the 2 of Cups, and we have the Temperance card, Sagittarius. And then we have the 3 of Pentacles, which is work, Sagittarius. It doesn't have to be a Sagittarius person. And then we have the 9 of Swords. This is the harshest card anybody's gotten. But everything's okay. Pluto's out of your 7th house, right? Then we have the 10 of Swords. Wow, you've been through something, huh? A relationship ended. You're exhausted from Pluto in Capricorn still. 7 of Wands. That's what it feels like. It feels like energetic exhaustion from Pluto in your 7th house. You know how when you have to work and you're on top of your game and then you get home and you just flop on the couch? That's what it feels like. I think you're just tired. 7 of Wands, I think 9 of Wands, sorry, you're turning in. That's what I was gonna say, which is much more suited for the 9 of Wands than the 7 of Wands anyway, but it feels very much like you're introspective here. Full moon in the 4th house. nothing necessarily has happened. I just think you're tired of people a certain way. You know what made me tired over the last 2 weeks? All these people are picking on trans people. And there's this huge wave of people picking on trans people. And it's just so demoralizing to see. I'm not trans, right? But it's so demoralizing to see people express such hate in this day and age. I have Venus in Cancer, so I think this is the energy. And it made me so tired just to see. And I know I'm not the victim of that hate. But as a peripheral person, seeing people not get it and see people just express the same hate that they have at other social groups or other people, it's like, I don't get it. I don't get why people, and it's just so exhausting to see people not get it. And I know people who are the target of that hate must be going through so much more, but as an outsider seeing this, it's just, why? Like, why are they being that way towards people like that, right? Why is anybody expressing? I just don't understand. I don't understand why people channel hate towards others. So it's tiresome. And I'm saying that not like, oh, poor me. I'm just saying, how do you say this? The tiresomeness. It made me question the world. Seeing that basically what I'm saying is seeing that happen to trans people. As a non-trans person, it's making me question the world we're in, where so many people are living through hate at them, right? And so it's just don't get it. So nine of swords, 10 of swords, you're tired about something. Something represents a bigger scheme that is making you tired. It might be looking a little different for you, but whatever it is, you're basically, you're tired of the BS, right? Something's not nice. Something is BS. Something is there's love that's motivating you towards doing some type of work. It's like Chiron's in the 10th house. This would be like a mom doing a job, a single mom or a dad doing a job that they don't like, to feed their families. Love is motivating you to do, and this isn't saying that the work is terrible, but it really does seem like your relationship with someone or with others is causing you to continue on. You're doing good work, but it's the motivation is really that relationship. And so I think you're tired, Cancer. I think this is saying there's a sense of tired. There's a sense of you need some downtime with this full moon, and it's in your 4th house. So decompress, get back to the self. It's almost like the energy is being taken outside of you, or the energy is, you need to bring it back in. With the 9 of swords and the 10 of swords, it's something that seems so out of place, and you're overcompensating, because you have to in a circumstance. And so for your own well-being here, 9 of wands, you need to sort of bring it back home and bring it in and ground it and get better. You need to recuperate. You're doing a fine job. The relationship is fine, but it's just making you tired to be unlike yourself. You're compromising yourself. And I don't mean that in a way. You're doing something that you wouldn't for other motivations, right? And it's not horrible. It's like working a job you don't really want to work because you have other reasons to do it. Okay? So 9 of wands is saying that this full moon gives you a rest, and the astrology is doing the same. You're going to get some really wonderful social connections here with the Taurus energies that are started and that will continue, Cancer. So wonderful relationship help is on the way. Things are going to get more interesting soon. So hold tight. You'll get there. Okay, so 2 more signs. Sorry if it's a little dark, you guys. I thought I could get it all in, but unfortunately it's very overcast, and so it's getting dark early. So we have Libra next, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let's talk about your guys' astrology. It's in your first house, so it's a big full moon. Libras have been asking me more than anybody else, like, what's going on with Libra? Give us something. So this is the full moon for you. It's a beautiful, watch the introduction. If you have been missing the Libra content, not much has been going on in Libra, unfortunately. Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, I guess the South Node in Scorpio, but there's just not much here, especially Virgo and Libra. So that's why you're not hearing more. But this full moon is in Libra, and it has to do for you with the self. I'll get into the astrology in a minute. Watch the intro. It's a whole half an hour dedicated to Libra. We have the 4 of Swords, and then we have the 4. This looks like 4 of Pentacles. And we have the Fool, okay, a new beginning. 4 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords, and the Fool is, yes, and then we have the 4 of Cups. Look at all these 4s, 4, 4, 4. This is very, very stable energies. We have the King of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, secondary transits in fire, Sag, Leo, or Aries, and then we have Lovers, which is Gemini, okay. Okay, so what is this talking about here? What we're talking about here is maybe I'll focus on the astrology a bit more to explain the cards that we got. But in essence, the Chiron in your 7th house, what it has been doing, and with all the transits over it, the way that your partnerships, relationships, and business partnerships have displaced your sense of self, the way that your relationships made you unlike yourself, the ways that someone who treated you bad stuck with you after they were long gone. This is what it's been healing for the last month. And this full moon, you get this self-awareness, a touch base with yourself, the Fool. Sorry about the quality of the video here. Touch base with yourself, where I think that you're ready to begin again and get back in touch with yourself again. So how relationships can somehow influence us sometimes in a negative way. This almost feels like those negative influences that you're doing away with, Libra. And here you're opening up again, but more through the self. So let's say somebody influenced you to be distrustful of relationships, right? Chiron in the 7th house. But here in the 1st house with this full moon, you're getting some kind of personal help out of stillness, out of peace, out of just your personal clarity. You've been stuck in this emotional state for a very long time. And I think that in some way, maybe a very nurturing person is around you, somebody who's giving you a lot of love. And there's a bond that is growing out of that understanding, that caring, that nurturing. So there's a really nice energy here of healing, of personal healing, to help combat whatever stuff you've been stuck with from bad relationships. So I do encourage you to watch the Chiron in Aries, Jupiter conjunction, because I think that's going to be very resonant with what we're talking about here. So that healing of the residual from bad relationships, okay, or bad interactions you've had with others. Last but not least is Aries. Aries, I have to apologize for the quality of the video. It got way darker, way faster than I thought. So just hold on tight. I'll show you all the cards and tell you the astrology now. The full moon's in your 7th house, which is relationships, partnerships. And for you, Libra and Aries are on the same kind of line. I just forget the name now, but Essentially for Libra, it was like influence by others. And so through that, they are now healing whatever has been negatively influenced by other people. And here, a relationship with someone is probably reaching some kind of potential or growth potential, which is really encouraging you to come out of your shell. So that the outside influence for you here is very positive. For Libra, it's positive as well, but in the opposite direction. Okay, so we have the Knight of Wands. That's probably you, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Again, the video quality is just got terrible because it's night. And then we have the Temperance card, Sagittarius. It doesn't have to mean a Sagittarius. Everybody's getting this card. Slow and steady wins the race with this one. A lot of big realizations coming in. Three of Wands, so we all have to process them slowly. Things are changing very quickly for many people at this time. We have the Emperor, which is your card Aries, but this can also pertain to a relationship. All fire cards so far. We have the Empress and Emperor. It's a very important moment with someone for some of you. And we have the Two of Swords, which is the most romantic one. I hope I can... Oh, there you guys can see it. Isn't that beautiful? So there's this real connection between two people here. I have a feeling that you may have been a little bit flighty with someone. You have tried to run away from a relationship, or, you know, you've not been feeling it's the right time or it's the right space. And so I think that you have in some way coming back into like more confident within your relationships. And so here there's a relationship that's working out really well. And so if you're single, you know, I hope that you're healing in some way. But for many Aries, this is just a confirmation that there's a real bond between yourself and another person. We have the Emperor. We have the Empress. Okay, and then we have the Two of Swords, which is peace. If you've been in conflict with your partner, this is a huge sign that there's going to be some kind of peace ahead. There's one person who's been very, very flighty, running away from the relationship, running away from the circumstances. It might be you, honestly, emotionally running away. But here we have like coming to terms with things, a relationship solidifying, something that you've been waiting for it to work out, finally making its way. With so much in Taurus, I wonder if not something financially is working out for you, which is facilitating this. This could have something to do with business. So a business or a job that you've been trying to establish is finally working out. Okay, thank you guys. Sorry for giving you guys such terrible light here, but I hope that you still like the message. And I'll be back with more light-filled videos soon. I hope you guys have a wonderful full moon. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to make the energy real. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.